Hey, I'm Stacy. I'm gonna be making garlic mashed potatoes today for one of the sides. I'm gonna smoke the garlic for the mashed potatoes. Just cut the top of it off so the smoke has a little bit of a access to the garlic. Gonna chop that off right there. Kind of see the garlic a little bit, so that'll be what we want. Just leave the skin on. Once it's smoked, it'll be easy to remove from that, so we don't need to worry about that right now. I'm just gonna take a little bit of olive oil, just kind of do a little drizzle. You could even get a little on the foil. I'm gonna take a pinch of salt onto the garlic. Then we can just roll it up. The turkey's on right now, and we'll just throw it out there. I'm just going to cut them in half. Just let them be kind of larger pieces for now. I always make something kind of different every year, whatever I'm inspired by, different ingredients. All right. Got some fresh green beans. These are actually local from Johnson Family Backyard. So I'm just gonna snip them off, and then once I have enough, I'll just rinse it. I'm gonna throw some shishito peppers in there as well. They're Japanese frying peppers. They're not spicy, maybe 1 in 20 is actually spicy. They add a lot of flavor. We're gonna grill those up as well as the green beans. Make a little vinaigrette and then toss it all together. And that'll be our green bean side dish for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna just toss it all together. That way the shishitos get a little bit of oil. I'm gonna take a pinch of salt. Kind of messy. So we've got our green beans nice and tossed in olive oil. We've got the shishitos also in there. The grill's nice and hot. I can put my hand over it without having to pull away. We're not using charcoal. We took some of the coals from the smoker where we're smoking the turkey, and that's what we're gonna grill our peppers and green bean mixture on. So I'm just gonna put them on the grill so they get nice and charred. Hopefully they don't fall through the grate too much. Try to be really quick and kind of get them on here. If we put them the other way, they're gonna fall through the grates. We wanna make sure to be careful. We don't wanna lose our precious mixture here. But you're gonna have to be really fast here. It's gonna get tricky. So these are starting to really get some color. I wanna make sure I don't burn them. I'm kinda gonna move them around a little bit. As the olive oil drips down, you're gonna get a little bit of flare up. Shouldn't be too bad though. That's kind of what I'm looking for. On the shishito, a little bit of a blistering skin. I like a really snappy green bean, so I'm gonna probably pull them off before they get cooked too much. Just a little bit of color, a little bit of char. Keep them nice and crisp. All right, these guys, get back in there. Just kind of pick them off as you see them starting to get really done. We've been grilling these for about 10 minutes. I've been manning the grill the whole time. As they're getting ready, I'm pulling them off. So those are done. Take them back inside and we'll start working on our potatoes some more.
Alrighty, so we're an hour and a half into this here turkey cook. Been maintaining between 300 and 325 degrees. Fire's not quite as clean as I would have liked it to have been. I'm gonna open up the lid, I'm gonna check it for color. I suspect it's about time to wrap it, and I'm also gonna put a ton of butter in there to keep it moist and add some fat, because turkey's a pretty dry meat and I wanna add fat to it to help keep it moist. Here we go. Well, I declare, it is dark enough. We're gonna wrap this thing. When you pick these things up, be really careful not to pick it up and pour all the juices out of the cavity. That's a really easy way to burn the crap out of your foot. I'm gonna temp it in the breast right here, and I'm gonna temp it in the side just to get kind of an idea, even though it's a real small turkey. It's a small cooker, and it's just gonna take a while. We'll kind of probe it right about there. Be careful not to let the tip of the probe hit a bone or anything. You don't want to poke all the way through the cavity. Right now I'm at 159.3 on the breast. It's getting real close, but the thing is that the breast is going to cook a lot faster than the thigh. The thigh is the thing that you really need to be careful of. We'd hate to have this perfect and that's still bloody. Gonna temp right in there. Huh? Well, you know, it's 162.1, so it's chugging along pretty good. This makes me feel like this cooker's been cooking pretty evenly. I suspected the breast would be way hotter than the thigh. I was wrong. Probably don't have much longer. And that's great, because I'm starting to get pretty hungry. And it smells good too. I'm gonna cube up a pound of butter. This is the secret ingredient to any turkey or chicken. It's actually the secret to life. I think this might end up pretty good. We're pretty much making a foil tent. Gonna kind of wrap it up that way. Seal it up pretty good. I'm just gonna let the butter melt to the bottom. It's gonna cook in. The foil's gonna retain moisture in there. It's gonna melt. It's gonna get really good. Its final temp is gonna be 165. That's the safe temperature for poultry. Always remember that. Shut the lid. Or not shut the lid. Stace, your garlic. You wanna check your garlic?
All right, let's see.
What's it looking like? What's it looking like?
Pull it off and just kind of see what it looks like. So you just want to give it a good squeeze. Make sure it's really nice and tender. It'll kind of start to come up out of the skin. It's ready to go. We'll just pull that off.
Good looking.
Thank you.
If I'm looking, I ain't cooking.
I've got our green bean and shishito pepper mixture all grilled up, ready to be tossed in a vinaigrette. You could buy a vinaigrette from the store. I'm gonna just make a really quick one. I've got some chopped onion, probably about 2 tablespoons. About a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I like champagne vinegar. A little bit of that. Add a pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then I'm just gonna pour in slowly some olive oil. The Dijon mustard helps emulsify the vinaigrette. That way your vinegar and your olive oil aren't just separating like crazy. I think it also adds a nice taste. I'm just gonna pour my mixture over the green beans and shishito peppers. I've also got some toasted almonds, just kind of depending on how much you like. Just gonna kind of mix it up a bit. This could be cold, it could be warm. I think warm would be better, so we're also gonna add some blue cheese. You could add feta, kind of break it up a bit, throw it in there. Little crumblies. It definitely adds a lot of flavor. So you wanna just make sure and taste it, add a little extra salt if you like, and that's it. Will you hold the strainer for me?
I sure will.
Please.
You're not gonna burn me, are you? I've been burned before.
Try not to.
Ooh, hot potato.
The potatoes are done. I'm gonna mash them by hand. I left the peels on, so they're kind of more rustic, chunky. Then we'll add a little bit of salt just to get a little flavor in there. And since it's really hot, we're gonna add our butter now so that we can melt the butter into the potatoes. All right, I like a half a stick, at least. That kind of melt. Kind of like cover it up a little bit for a moment. We'll check on our garlic. Get it out of its little pods here. I love garlic. You don't have to use the whole thing. You could save it and use it for something else. But I kind of think I want to put all that we can in there, make it crazy garlicky. Let's just squeeze it in there. Just call it a day. Ooh. Mash this stuff up. Butter is kind of finding little pockets in there. It's all melted. I've got cream and I've got milk. We're just gonna add a little bit of both. And I kind of want to add a little bit more butter. I'm thinking maybe another 2 tablespoons. So that brings it up to 6 tablespoons total. Throw that in there. Oh, baby. Let's add a little bit of cream first. 3 tablespoons? Sounds good. Give it a good mix. It's kind of got a slight smoke to it. Buttery and creamy. Smells delish. And then maybe just like a couple more tablespoons of whatever kind of milk you have on hand. We're just gonna throw a little bit of pepper in there too, and that's it. They're hot and ready. We could keep them warm in a low oven until we're ready to serve the turkey, or you could make them the day before and just cool them off and then put them in the fridge overnight. That's done. And I'm gonna clean up my mess really quick.